What you want to do is place your knees hip width apart, so Cassandra's going to bring her knees a little bit closer together. Next, what we want to do, we're going to play around with the foot position to target different fibers. For this first one, we're going to have the ankles in line with the knees, and the pelvis is going to be in retroversion. Hey everyone, Steven here from Team Euphoric, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to squat by going through some squat regressions. Specifically, I'm going to be teaching you how to do the kneeling squat. The squat is one of the best exercises that you can perform, and it's a movement pattern that you perform on a daily basis. Every single time you go to stand up or sit down, you are squatting. Every single time you go to drop the Browns off at the Super Bowl, you are squatting. Every single time you go to get into your car, you are essentially doing a pistol squat with a lateral shift and a twist. It is one of the 7 primal patterns, along with pushing, pulling, bending, lunging, twisting, and gait. Unfortunately, one of the problems that most people either don't know how to squat properly, or they lack the proper mechanics in their hips, knee, or ankles, and they have some type of dysfunction in that area. So if you are somebody that can't squat properly, or if you have problems in any one of those areas, these squat regressions would be an excellent way for you to be able to learn how to squat. For the kneeling squat, as the name implies, you are doing a squat from a kneeling position. With regard to this squat right over here, this is going to be the next progression to the prone squat. If you haven't seen the prone squat, I'm going to include a link right up over here to that video, but this is going to be the second easiest variation. So if the prone squat is too easy, this would be your graduation present doing this exercise. In order to do that, I'm going to have Cassandra get up on her knees into a tall kneeling position. What you want to do is place your knees hip width apart, so Cassandra's going to bring her knees a little bit closer together. Next, what we want to do, we're going to play around with the foot position to target different fibers. For this first one, we're going to have the ankles in line with the knees, and the pelvis is going to be in retroversion. So she's going to tuck her pelvis underneath her. The chin, same thing. We're going to keep the chin tucked in. The crown of the head is up toward the sky. With her eyes, she's going to be looking down toward the floor to put the dura mater under tension. Now, with regard to this squat right over here, essentially what you are doing is she is going to sit down onto her calves and then come back up while maintaining a neutral spine. So Cassandra, I'm just going to have you do a few repetitions. And this one right over here, we are going to be targeting primarily the vastus intermedius. If you recall, depending on how you play with the levels of internal and external rotation, we could target different fibers in the quadricep group. So right now, we are targeting more the vastus intermedius. If we wanted to target more the vastus medialis is the most medial of the quadricep group. So because it's the most medial, what we would want to do is place the ankles outside of the knees. By placing the ankles outside of the knees, we're going to create greater myofascial tension along the inner thigh. And by creating greater myofascial tension in that area, we can target more the vastus medialis in the quadricep group. Now this exercise over here, we're still targeting all other areas, but if you want to place a specific emphasis on the vastus medialis fibers, this would be the way to do it. I'm going to have Cassandra do the exact same thing. Everything is the same, maintaining retroversion of the pelvis, chin is tucked in, crown of the head is up, looking down at the floor to maintain dura mater, the tension on the dura mater, and she is just going to perform a couple more. And that is it for the kneeling squat with the emphasis on the vastus medialis. Next, if we wanted to target the vastus lateralis, we would do the opposite. The vastus lateralis is the most lateral of the quadricep group. So for this one right over here, we would want to place the ankles inside of the knees. So you can get the ankles touching, and everything else is going to be the exact same. Retroversion of the pelvis, chin is tucked in, crown of the head up toward the sky. With the eyes, she's looking down toward the floor to put the dura mater under tension, and she is just going to squat down onto her calves and do the exact same thing. Again, because the legs are now externally rotated, we are going to create greater myofascial tension along the lateral aspect of the femur, which is going to allow for greater recruitment of the vastus lateralis. So you could try these 3 different positions and see where exactly you are weakest at. Most people are going to have a lot of trouble with the vastus medialis, which is the ankles outside of the knees, but give them each a try, see which one you're weakest at, and that is going to be the one that you need the most. I'm going to allow Cassandra to just take a little bit of a break now because we're done with the demonstration, but that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to make more of these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.